In September, when you're starting your gap year, don't have too many expectations. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna fall in love in the spring. I'm gonna meet someone so amazing. No, I was quarantined the whole time. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Nandi and you're watching Okay Nandi, and today I just wanted to make a super quick video for people who are about to graduate high school. Maybe you got into your colleges and you're trying to figure out whether you want to go right now, if Zoom University is even worth it. Like, so many things are up in the air, so this is for people considering a gap year. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's get into it. So one of the biggest things I learned over my gap year was just how to be alone and not feel like my life was ending just because I wasn't in college but everyone else was. As people were starting to like move into their colleges and I was still just like at home, I definitely started feeling FOMO. Even when I was doing my own thing, having fun, I would still get nervous because I was like, oh my god, did I make the right decision? Is it gonna be weird when I start as a freshman? Like, I think that was definitely good in its own way because I just got comfortable with doing my own thing and like feeling confident in the decisions that I've made. A couple of tips for this is either in September when you're starting your gap year, make sure that you go somewhere or you start a new job or you just do something new so you don't feel like you're stagnant at home while everybody else is starting school. Or just don't use social media. Like, at least for a couple weeks, just don't use social media because you're gonna drive yourself a little crazy thinking that you made a mistake or something when in reality you're fine. You're doing your thing, you'll be okay. Okay, so another thing I learned over my gap year, which I wrote down in my little list, but it's actually not true. I was gonna tell you guys I learned how to plan, which I kind of did, but I also kind of didn't. I knew I wanted to travel, and I also knew I wanted to get some professional experience. So thankfully, I had an internship lined up. So the first 4 months of my gap year were planned out, and I was good. But then the rest of my gap year, I was honestly playing it by ear. I was fortunate enough to go to South Africa where my dad lives. So there, I didn't know what I was gonna do there. I worked as a grocery store cashier in Superspar, which is a South African grocery store. The experiences I had at Superspar were very good. I feel like I learned a lot just interacting face to face with people. I had to practice my Zulu. I had to like do all this stuff. And then when the pandemic rolled around, like I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to fill my time. And that just became a time for me to like do creative stuff and pursue that. So I kind of planned my gap year, but I also kind of didn't. I just winged a lot of it. Unless you're doing like a year program or you have like an actual like concrete job that you're gonna do the whole year, it's probably gonna be like that. But I feel like that's the beauty of taking a gap year. Like, I wanted a year where I could just go with the flow, see what life was like outside of just school and experience things. And that's definitely what happened. So I guess don't beat yourself too much if you don't have like a concrete plan and your planner isn't like color coded and all that. Like, just make sure you have something to do, or at least set yourself a goal for a certain time frame. Like, if you know, okay, January to February, that's the time I want to focus on my health, then I don't know, just like start running a lot and like make a plan to do that. Just have goals and do things that align with them is my advice. Okay, along that vein, I would say don't have too many expectations. I feel like this is just good advice for life. Like, I'm learning that it's better not to have a lot of expectations when you start new things, because then you either build yourself up too much or you spend too much time being nervous about something that you didn't need to be nervous about. So I would say for your gap year, definitely, yeah, just set goals, but be open to anything happening, because like I remember in my gap year, especially for the months of like March to like August 2020, which obviously the pandemic and just so much stuff was happening. I expected that to be one of the most fun parts of my gap year. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna fall in love in the spring. I'm gonna meet someone so amazing. We're gonna have this beautiful love story. No, I was quarantined the whole time. Nothing happened. I mean, I grew, like I said, I like dove more into my creativity and stuff, but none of that happened. So just go with the flow, don't have too many expectations, and just try to hype yourself up anyways. Like, even if stuff is boring, like be like, you know what, I'm still super cool because I took a gap year, and who else does that?
What? Child. Anyway, so
another thing I learned slash another tip is to try and hang out with people of all different backgrounds. So of course, if you're traveling during your gap year, this will definitely come naturally. But I also know we're still in a pandemic, so if you're at home, that's okay. But if you end up getting vaccinated and you can like get a job somewhere, like make friends with your coworkers. Just like try to seek out people who are a little bit more different than you know, if that's an age or like religion, anything, just be open to that. I feel like that's vague advice and there's so many factors that go into that, I know, but I will say that one of the best things about my gap year was just how like I was just connecting with a bunch of different people who I never thought that I would connect with. I went to a very small all-girls high school, so by the time we all graduated, we were all like very much alike one another and very much in our own bubble. And then when I was taking my gap year, I was going different places and I was like having fun with a bunch of different people. I was like, oh, I did not think that this was possible. I thought I had to just stay in my own little bubble, you know? So try to do that and it'll also just open up your perspective. And then by the time you get to university, if that's what you want to do, you'll be like, you'll feel cool, you know, because you hung out with all these cool people and you took a gap year and yeah.
Stop it. Get some help.
Okay, another one is just document everything. Like write things down, make a film, do something. There are so many times when I think about how I could have been taking so many more videos. I could have started this YouTube channel last year and my content would have been insane. Like I would have been making videos from like Paris, y'all. Like day in the life of a Paris person, I don't know. Instead of just like being in my house right now. So definitely capitalize on that. Even if you are just in your house, like your perspective over your gap year is a little bit different. You know, you're thinking about life, you're reflecting, like you're just thinking a lot. Right now, all I do is think about school. I'm not as interesting as I was on my gap year, I feel like. But yeah, those are some things that I learned over my gap year. Those are some tips that you can use. Everyone's gap year is different, but just be excited and it'll be fun. Regardless of the pandemic, if you're traveling, whatever, it'll be fine. So let me know what you thought. Definitely comment, reach out to me, all that good stuff, and see you in the next video.